So it's been a week. It's been a week. We've had a week out there, you guys. It's been a week straight of 2021. 2021 is packing some big 2020 energy. Like I thought we'd get to this year, and I'm like, look, I'm kicking this. It's gonna be a good. Look, I wasn't saying it was gonna be a good year. It's hey. First, I gotta just quickly. Hello, my Patreons, my Patreon. It's hey. Look, I keep forgetting to hey Leslie girl. Hey, it's hello Christian. Hello Akiko. Hello anyways. Hello Russell. Anyways, just I have to fire those off. Yeah, it's been a fucking week. I didn't expect like I thought I was gonna start this year off, and it's like, look, Trump's going away. My whole like part of the reason I have I have a bit of focus issues sometimes. This last year has been like get all of the information on COVID into my brain that I can, spit it back out as fast as I possibly can. Process as all the very rapidly happening information and process it back out for people. And like that's hard to do in this environment, but it was kind of a thing that could be done while also kind of managing the Trumpiness of all of it. It was kind of the first time I felt useful in a while. But the year's starting. COVID is at the beginning of the end. We're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. The vaccines, they are upon us. This is all good. But I'm like, all right, I'm going to start the year. I have this weekly column I've been doing. I have not written a thing about a new subject every day, since I was in school. So this is like, I have homework. I have nightly homework. And like the hardest part of it is finding something new to write about every day. Dick, thank you for, Dick, I don't know if that's your real name, but if your name is really Dick Topping, nice. Anyways, but yeah, I'm really I'm enjoying writing these. But the hard part about it is finding a new thing that I want to write about each day, because like I'm trying to find stuff where society and a scientific either mishap or discovery and some like fuckery happens like all in the same place. And I love where something, it has to be something interesting. It's not just hey, some science happened here. It's some science happened plus intrigue. And it's easy to make you can make some science interesting, but I'm looking for good stories here. And I want to try to get some good stories out to you. So that's been a lot of fun. And there's always like, because I'm kind of a nutty fucking perfectionist. Like if I've been to a few conferences where I've given a talk on how I write these things, or how I write my big deep dive articles. I'll end up reading like 6 articles to try to figure out the science behind one paragraph, so that I can accurately, concisely, and in a way that can be understood by an audience that doesn't have a science background, some fairly complicated science. So because I have to do overkill and I don't want to just repeat back the words that I read somewhere else, like I have to try to understand the subject. So I'm probably killing myself for nothing the first few weeks, and eventually I'll figure out how much I have to wreck myself to write these things. And I'm getting like, look, last night I was only up till 4:30. The night before I was up till 6:30. So it's been interesting getting used to writing these on a daily basis. Please just look, I'm turning this into my full-time thing. If you want to help support the effort of all the writing, Patreon is below. And like I'm figuring out what I'm doing with this later. I'm probably going to, at the end of the year, self-publish all of them into one lovely little book. So you've got yourself 365 little columns of science stories. But that's let's see. Someone just said try doing. Oh, if you want to suggest a thing that you want me to like, look, I like the number of times, and here's the worst part: the number of times I get an idea for something and I'm like, oh, that'd make a good story, and I get 2 paragraphs in and I'm like, I don't know if this is something that really grabs me, and I gotta stop doing that to myself. I gotta just like push through and make a few of these into stories, even though I'm like, I don't like. So that's the hardest part, is that I keep on, writing half articles. Eventually I'm going to go through and be like, okay, I can flesh this out into something. But I've got like, I have a good 10 articles half written right now. But yeah, I'm going to be, I'm having a lot of fun with this. It's just, like I said, the hardest part, 2 hardest parts. One, the amount of research I can make myself do for that one paragraph where the real thick of the science is. And the other is just deciding what to write. There's at least an hour a day where I'm just hunting online, going, where can I find myself a good story? So it's all it's all just it's a lot of working. So if you want to help, if you're enjoying these a lot, if you're getting a kick out of it on a daily basis, if I'm doing some work that's helping you get through these trying times, go click on my page, patreon.com/SciBabe. Come hang out. Come do it's look. Eventually there will be tears, and there will be a book that you'll automatically get at the end of all this nice, pretty, all that good. Anyways, just come join the party. Anyways, that was just what I wanted. But yeah, it's been weird to start off the year feeling very like motivated, and I'm on top of my. I've been doing my Duolingo every day. I've been writing every day, and yesterday, or was it yesterday? I'm already back to 2020, not knowing what day of the fucking week it is. I start, whatchamacallit, I wake up and I'm like, I'm going to get up early and finish this thing that I was writing because I was close, but I want to really get this thing looking good. I wake up really early. I start writing. I post the column on the drug trial of TGN 1412. And the first comment to it is, what, are you bored or something? The country is under siege. I'm like, what? The first time that I finally go, no, I'm not going to wake up and look at Twitter first. I'm not going to read the news first. I'm not going to waste time. I got to get the column out. I've gotten very good and disciplined. I know it's a weekend. I'm not going to give myself too much credit, but I've gotten fairly disciplined with myself on this because I'm like, I think people are enjoying that. I'm enjoying writing them. I know if I let up on myself, it's doom. But the first comment, the first comment is, we're under, and it's like I said, I feel like part of the reason it's been so easy to be distracted the last 4 years is just, you never know when you're going to turn on Twitter and some shit that's the first time, the unprecedented thing, the first time in history, this craziness has happened, will have happened. And that's that's kind of what what happened on Tuesday. I expected I'd post the column, and there'd be, because there was because they were counting the votes, because tallying the electoral college votes, there would be some fuckery. I did not expect armed resurrection with cops letting people into the Capitol. So that was hard to see. Now, I mean, when I say I didn't expect, like, let's be clear about this. So let's. So now that I've ranted about the column, I'm glad you guys are enjoying them, by the way. Like, let me just quickly wrap that up. I'm really glad you guys are enjoying them. I'm having fun writing them. Again, if you want to suggest a thing, thescibabe@gmail.com. Just drop right into my inbox. Tell me a thing that you want me to look into. I love writing these stories. And the best thing, when I can turn them into a story, that's the best part of them. So, like, human fuckery, fun science, thing that affected history. Boom. That's that's how I turn this into something that I hope is going to amuse. But so it's, the other thing is, I wanted to keep and those of you guys who are on my Discord know I'm having a really bad headache right now. I've taken it. Thank you, Melissa. I really appreciate that. It's my headache. I've taken about double my typical dose of my headache medication. And I've taken my rescue meds that are unpleasant, but that help, and they're still not helping very much. So this is going to be a fairly short stream today, because my left eye feels like I'm being stabbed by a knife that's on fire right now. But we've had an armed insurrection, so we had to sit down and have a chit chat, all the group of us. But yeah, so what's armed insurrection happened, and look, there were people that, and I was quite clear about my politics last year, and there were a lot of people who did not like that. A lot of people were really mad about it. People told me not to be so fucking political. People were upset that I was telling my opinions, stick to science. And, that's impossible to do when, as I've said before, as I believe it was Starling who sent me their needlepoint of my, politics stuck its dick in science. I'm sticking my dick, metaphorical. Anyways, but like, politics is really what, politics it came and fucked up all the science that was being done to try to manage the epidemic. It's somebody just asked, why is it always the left eye? So I have a condition called hemicrania continua, where the left side of my face, basically, if I wasn't on medication for it, I have a permanent headache on the left side of my head. So the center of the head pain is right in my left eye. So when it's really, really flared up, it's just, if I were in the Middle Ages and I didn't know what was happening, I would have probably torn my eye out of my head by now, thinking that my eye was like diseased or something. Like this is why I'm so glad to live when I do. Simon has entered the chat. This is why I'm so glad to live when I do, when like it took a while to diagnose, but at least when we did, we knew to give me indomethacin, not tear eye out of head. So that was useful. So anyway, last fall, between what was happening with COVID and them being like, yeah, let's just, them, eventually we found out they were like, we want people to get the virus. That was the thing they actually said. That was in writing. They had that in writing. I accept your judgment for me drinking La Croix. It's the only fizzy anything I can get delivered via my grocery delivery service, because I'm taking this lockdown seriously, as we have no hospital beds in LA. It's great right now. Everything's great. Everything's fine. It's fine. Anyways, that's why I'm just throwing all my energy into the column. It's just way easier than thinking about reality right now. Anyways, so yeah, it was like, you hop into talking about politics a lot because you're talking about COVID, and there's no talking about what was happening with COVID without talking about politics, because it fucked up everything with that. But coming up to the election, like I don't think anybody thought coming to the election that if Biden lost, that those of us who wanted him to win were going to be out in the streets with guns storming the Capitol. We were going to be here crying, smoking a joint, and being like, okay, I guess the next 4 years are going to suck too, and it's going to take forever to all get vaccinated. So that suck. Like, that was going to be the punchline of it. But the thing we were worried about was exactly this. And people told us we were being crazy, and people have their rights to their opinions that are different than ours. And they do, but you don't have a right to armed insurrection. That's exactly what you don't have a right to do. That's called treason. It's called being a traitor. So I keep seeing I see a comment from Patty Steele. I found Noon because of you. Just a quick aside, Noon they're really great little electrolyte tablets that if you're dehydrated and you're a person who runs or exercises and want to just have instant rehydration little tablets, they're delicious. Anyways, every so often I see a comment that I'm like, I can't not. But yeah, I've been saying, and look, I understand the drive to try to be centristy and to try to see both sides, a term that will never feel the same again after this. Like, I have friends who, and I get it, the warnings about Donald Trump sounded so dire, didn't they? Like, these all sounded kind of crazy. If you had not, like, I had friends who moved here from Canada a couple years before the Trump administration, and like, I think they didn't know much about American politics, and they made friends with people on both sides of the aisle before it. And like, the Republicans were, Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney bad before. Like, they were, I disagree with you and you have some things I think are repugnant, but I'll still hang out with you occasionally because you're a human. And like, my friends from Canada were like, I don't know American politics. Maybe I'm being told, maybe they're quote unquote both sides. Anyways, it's been interesting watching them finally realize, like, I don't know what their thought processes are looking at all of this, but like, obviously they've seen this all happen, and I wonder if they're looking back going, Yvette wasn't wrong, or, oh, this is just a one-time incident. It's like, no, everything. We weren't looking at this going, Donald Trump is bad because he says some bad words. I say bad words. Donald Trump was bad because this was what was being built to this whole fucking time. They planned this publicly on Parler, and Parler is is fucking amazing right now. I love what's going on Parler. It's it's Schrodinger's Parlerista on there. Every 5 minutes, it is either look at me, here's the video of me doing the crime. Here is my account that I had to submit my ID with to verify that it was me, and here's the video of me. There was a GPS chip on me in this thing that I videoed out to the world showing me breaking into the Capitol, doing the crime, and then 3 parlays down saying Antifa did it. What? Just well done. I don't even there's a joint over there that I'm gonna light fairly soon if this headache doesn't let up. But just Jesus Christ. I believe there's a series of 4 tweets from Kevin Sorbo that if you haven't seen it, it's almost exactly that. It's brave patriots storming the White House where they're getting into the Capitol, blah, and the last one is Antifa did it all. Guys, you don't get there's even merch. There was a guy that they had a picture of wearing MAGA with a date on it, civil, and it said Civil War. It's they had merchandise for this. The police opened the barricades, let them into the Capitol. I'm sorry. It's the getting an armed insurrection for everyone for all of the right-wing pundits, and I'm sure everyone who I'm saying this to, I know I'm preaching to the converted, but we got to get through all this. Look, I know I'm preaching, but this is my church. This is it's for every right-wing douchebag who is in the news now saying, well, what's the difference between this and BLM? Well, BLM was, protesting violence. They were protesting violence being done to them for being pulled over for a tail light or for holding a cell phone that looked kind of like a gun. These guys were protesting math. They were protesting math, and they were storming the Capitol. And the girl Ashley, who was the woman who was killed, I believe she was trying to enter a portion of the Capitol where Mike Pence was being hidden. Now, I agree with Mike Pence on very little, very, very little. I have major contention with Mike Pence, obviously. Major contention with Mike Pence. But here's the thing. The person who was standing there with that gun, that was not a cop. That was a Secret Service officer. Now, Secret Service, it's their job. Is to protect the president and the vice president, and it's their detail at all costs. They let somebody in there. They're not answerable to a bunch of other police officers who they work with and are going to have their backs. They answer to the Department of Homeland Security. So that officer or that Secret Service member of the Secret Service, they were going to shoot. So while I'm seeing calls for justice for fucking Ashley, sorry, she was a terrorist. She was a terrorist trying to break into where the vice president was hiding from a crowd of terrorists. So when you see people trying to say she needs justice, no. Just look back at them and ask, as was just pointed out, why didn't she obey the law? So just saying. So these people are. These people are terrorists. They are not patriots. I believe that Ivanka Trump called them patriots. They are not. This means Ivanka Trump is enabling terrorism. Maybe that means she's a terrorist herself. Just saying. So, but yeah, it's somebody commented here. She did get justice. Yeah, that's what they're missing. She fucked around and thank you Dan Killing. She fucked around and found out. But yeah, this was not a protest against cops who have been systemically targeting Black people for centuries. This is about this was about people who were mad that they lost an election. sorry, the numbers didn't work out for you. Maybe don't do a fascism next time, and more people will vote for your guy. But this will be like, I believe Sarah Palin is calling for breaking off into a third party. Go with God, my child. I'm gonna enjoy watching it break off into a third party. That's only good for people who are not fascists. So I'm enjoying that. I don't know what the rest of the week's going to be like. I'm thrilled though that I think within the last hour, Donald Trump was removed from Twitter the day before, they were like, we're going to give you a warning. And they're like, we're going to take you off for 12 hours. And if you don't take down the offending tweet, and I don't know if they just finally saw reason or if Trump just decided not to take down the offending tweet, but Trump is gone from Twitter now. Once he's out of office, like that POTUS account is obviously no longer his, but like he doesn't get a Twitter account anymore. Trump is off Twitter. Like I get it. I get it. It's not like all the people, like this does not disband his army of fucking douche canoes who follow him, but he's gone. People are like, wait, he's gone. Yes, he is gone. 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago? He gave him more. It's like I've lost track of the days of the week at this point. It's been a little nutty, but yeah, Twitter is it's got as of today, like just happened within the last I want to say hour and a half or so. So, but yeah, now it's interesting watching all the calls for him to be removed or for him to resign, or for like I believe some congressmen are already starting paperwork for impeachment. I have very low hopes, but I also think that it's the only. I think that you can't not start impeachment paperwork. Like it's not. If you were in the Congress and it's not at least started, it's wrong somehow. You have to formally charge him. It's terrifying that he still has the nuclear codes. This is a person who has, or like a couple of weeks ago, didn't he? I don't like it. The time is time is a flat circle. It's all wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. But didn't he meet with the leader of the Proud Boys, Enrique Tarrio, a couple of weeks ago? Seems like it seems like there was coordination through multiple levels of government. Like I believe, and I read an article on this, there was multiple people in the administration were calling for the National Guard to be deployed. There were people calling for backups for the DC police, and there were multiple delays, both for the Guard to be deployed and for backups to the police. So it's just this was coordinated. There's a reason that this went there's a reason that this happened in tons of cities all over the country. There's a reason that these people were trying to break into governors' mansions, and like there were plans to try to kidnap governors in multiple states. Like this is a coordinated assault on the country. I don't know what else to say. It's kind of horrifying. So yeah, that's the thing that's happening right now. Don't let them downplay it. Don't let them. And beginning of the Biden administration, there are going to be a ton of them saying, "Hey, we gotta all get along." Don't let them forget when they called you crazy for saying Donald Trump's a bad guy who's going to try to steal the election and overthrow democracy, because that's exactly what he did. The writing was on the wall. He did everything we said he was going to do. And they tried to, it's a bunch of them, even after he did it, even after in the halls of Congress, some of these congressmen were ducking under desks, wearing gas masks, because the Capitol Police were deploying pepper spray against these terrorists. Even after that, over 100 Republican congressmen voted to not count the votes from Pennsylvania, I believe. So, man, that's there's a rot in the Congress. That's some shit. So that's what happened. That's where we're at. I'm terrified if Trump stays in office for the next, what is it, 12 days now? 12. But who knows if he's still it's as long as he's in power. He's a danger unto us all. I don't know. And here's the worst part: watching every cabinet member quit. Um, it's like they're going, well, I know I could do something about it, but there's a lifeboat, and this Titanic is a sinking. So, like, what are we down to now? Like Ben Carson and like a deputy assistant secretary, a postmaster general or something. We're down to nothing. We are down to nothing that could rein him in. We would basically need like whatever's left in the president's cabinet. Like, are there three of them? I have no idea. We're down to very few. So many of them have quit now. It's pathetic. All of these people they were gonna be the people that kept him in line, right? They've all quit. Most of them, so many of them quit. Oh my God, these patriots that were joining the administration because they're like, but I'm going to help. I'm going to do patriotic thing. Right after the country is there is an attempt to overthrow the government. They quit. They all fucking quit. Mitch McConnell's wife quits. Betsy DeVos, that brave patriot, fucking quits. All of them quit. I am not suggest. Please take this just as this is a metaphor, an analogy, a I'm painting something with this. Just go with me. So the movie Inglourious Bastards came to mind yesterday while I was thinking about this and thinking about all the people that are quitting, and that end scene when the Jewel Hunter is getting out and he's like, I want my house, I want to get out of here, I want to have my life, and they're like, and they shoot his the other soldier that's with him, and they pin him down. And they're like, I'm thinking you're going to leave and you're going to take off that uniform, and I can't have that. Now, I'm not saying to carve MAGA into these people's foreheads. I'm literally not saying that. Like, I know I joke and then I go, I'm not saying, but I'm really not saying to do that. But what I am saying is, don't let the fucking stink of this administration come off these people ever. Josh Hawley doing his little to the fucking terrorists in the crowd. Whenever he complains about anything, whenever he tries to say that he changes, whatever he tries to do to claim that he's some sort of protector of this nation, never let any posts he makes on Twitter, on Facebook, on the internet for the rest of his life, let him never draw breath without being reminded of him holding his fist up in solidarity with a crowd of terrorists trying to overthrow the government. The crowd that was coming at him with him in that building that very same day with guns and handcuffs. Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't let everyone forget that stupid fucking face. Him or the rest of them. And I mean, I don't even give that much credit to the ones that were like, oh, we're finally going to put our foot down with Trump today. Now, like, I understand that Lindsey Graham did his whole "it's over" speech, and he was having fun, just mouthing off like a drunk queen that he is. But he was one of the chief enablers of all of this. Trump wouldn't have gotten that far without his enablers. If any of them had at any point been like, "Hey, the emperor doesn't have any clothes," maybe we would never have gotten to an armed insurrection. But yeah, we did. He didn't get there alone. He got there with the help of all the president's men. He got there with the help of everyone around him. Trump was built up by all the people who voted for him, by a right-wing media sphere that lies to all the people who vote for him. He was built up by all the people who were in not just his family, but like the structure of government that you can put people in place, fire the people that are that there's such a large group that the president can control personally. And when you get the balance of power just out of whack enough, one party can make their own swamp. And Donald Trump, for saying he was going to clean it out, he just put in a new invasive species, is all he did. So yeah, for all of them giving these little, like, look at me, I'm gonna stand up now speech, what was it all for? This was 4 years of them leading up to enabling and leading up to disastrous policies that caused exactly this. So cute speeches, guys, great empty words. You did nothing to help. Nothing. None of you did absolutely anything. You pandered to your basis. You went on Twitter and said exactly what you could to try to weasel your way out when people would later try to pin you to saying something that would pander to your QAnon people. But you said enough that they all knew. They felt they heard those dog whistles, those little QAnon dog whistles, and you did what you could to not anger those people. But they're all complicit. Every last one of them. Like, yeah, like the Matt Gaetz and the whatchamacallit, the Ted Kennedy, or sorry, Ted Kennedys, the Ted Cruzes of the world are they're more complicit than some others. But Romney's not innocent. Lindsey Graham's not. The ones that changed their mind last minute aren't innocent. Lisa Murkowski said earlier today, she's like, I might stop being a Republican after all this. You know what she did during the impeachment trial? Voted to acquit. All of them back behind the scenes were saying they voted to, like, it's so many of them behind the scenes said they would have, that they thought he was completely guilty of it, and they wanted to vote that he was guilty. Not a fucking spine or ballsack or ova to be found amongst all the Republicans, amongst the entire fucking body of them, in the entire legislature. They all knew it was wrong. They knew it was wrong. They knew it was happening. And what did they think? Like, the armed terrorists coming in were going to be scary when they were white or something? How did that work in their heads? I don't know how it works. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell I'm sleepy and angry about how it got to this point, because, like I said, I had people coming in here for months being like, you're getting too political, side babe, and being very mad that I was saying Trump is bad. Trump is very bad. Bad things will happen. He's a fascist. He's fomenting violence amongst his people. His people are racist assholes who are going to hurt marginalized groups and are going to do things that will hurt people anyone who's not like them. And now we're at a point where we've had an attempted armed coup that likely people at all level of law enforcement and possibly intelligence knew about, and it wasn't stopped until one of the Secret Service who was protecting the vice president had to shoot someone. So that's been the first week of 2021. Whew. And also there were over 4,000 fatalities for the first time in a day in the US. So things are going really, really well for us right now, you could say. So anyways, thank you guys for letting me just go off on that. But it was, I think we've all watched the same pattern. We're all at that same level of frustration. We've watched this keep on happening. We've seen friends of ours get sucked in, and people who are well-intentioned try to listen to the other side and be like, well, it's and sometimes, and here's the thing, it can play with your mind sometimes. Sometimes you'll think, this can't possibly, one person, one group, there's no way they can possibly be that bad, right? How could someone possibly be that evil and it be happening right in front of me? Don't question yourself that hard when you see something that bad happen. Like, it's real. You're not crazy. They're really that bad. Science Dog is here to give me some snuggles and make me feel better. Science, do you have anything to say to the people? Science Dog would like to let you know that he is pro-Nazi punching, but only if you're wearing your COVID mask, because if you punch them and they've got COVID and it sprays all over you, like that could be part of a super spreader thing. So if you punch a Nazi, wear a mask. Make sure they're wearing masks. So that's Buddy saying it. Like, I would never foment violence. Anyways, so that's just wanted to let you know. It's Psydogs says punch a Nazi. So anyways, but we've all, we have watched this, we've watched this grow. We've seen people, try to listen to both sides, and some people we love accidentally fall down a rabbit hole because they were listening to the other side a little too intently. And look, I saw friends that I know are smart, friends that have PhDs, only figure out Trump was bad in the wake of all of the misinformation from COVID. And they were people who were, who were kind of like, business type guys, who were like, nah, no, no, no. It's probably like they were just like, I vote Republican because I want people to keep out of my wallet, and they didn't pay attention to much of it. And it was like they needed to be jolted awake. Here's the thing though, I award no points to people who needed to be jolted awake by an armed insurrection. This was too much. This was everything we warned about. This was armed insurrection that the FBI, that the every level of law enforcement knew about, and it wasn't stopped because they were in on it. So it's one of someone I know pointed out. It's highly possible that the reason, and look, this is speculation, obviously speculation. It's possible the reason that some of them didn't stop it is because they were hoping maybe it would succeed and they'd be on the winning side at the end of it. And then, reality kicked in. But who knows? Who knows? So yeah, that's been week 1 of 2021. So I think I look, I don't have any deep insights onto how security works at the Capitol. It's just they've obviously know what was happening on Parler. They've been investigating and following, and a couple people had been visited before this happened. So it's not like everybody was not aware of all the planning for all these months, especially with the surveillance capabilities that they do have. So yeah, they knew. Everyone knew, and it was just look. Let's be blunt about this. It's that it was a group. It's the reason they didn't get the same treatment as BLM is the exact reason why you think it is. It's because it's a group of far right white guys for the most part. That's all. There's no other way to phrase that. And that is terrifying. So the good news out of this is the fact that I hate giving and I mean, I'm a registered Democrat. I stand this party probably harder than they deserve, but the adults are hopefully back in town very soon, and maybe this means that all the corruption that allowed this to happen will be investigated, rooted out, and changed shortly. Maybe the fact that it got to this point will wake up enough Republicans that they'll be like, maybe pandering to conspiracy theorist nut jobs who think armed insurrection is funsies was a bad idea, and maybe they'll all just learn maybe. Look, not to ruin a bad movie for you, but I'm just gonna take a quick line from Wonder Woman 84. Turn away for the next 15 seconds, or mute me for the next 15 seconds if you don't want spoilers. But maybe everyone should just just renounce their wish. I didn't want this. I didn't want this. I thought I wanted this. I didn't. We'll go back to being, just normal Republican bad. It'll be okay. I say that, and I still think we gotta metaphorically tattoo that MAGA in their head and let nobody forget what they did here. Anyways, I figure that's my good rant for the day. That's all I have in me. On an up note, my headache feels a little less bad, but it's been. Maybe it was just I needed to get all the bile out. So it's Stacey. You just said you're very hopeful, Saibé, but they'll never. No, here's the thing. I'm not hopeful. I don't think any of them are ever going to learn. I think that I think that what's going to happen is there are going to be a lot of investigations. Republicans are going to obstruct. People like Matt Gaetz are still going to be in there. There are going to be a lot of them in there still trumpeting Trumpism. It's the Matt Gaetz's, the Dan Crenshaws of the world, like the ones who are even though they're so thank you law enforcement for saving us, they're still saying, but what about Antifa? At the exact same time, they're still but what about Antifa-ing this? So no, they're not going to really learn much. They're still going to be their same old awful selves. To quote Willy Wonka, they're still going to be their same old awful selves, but perhaps a little wiser next time. But what does terrify me about all this, and hopefully we will not be thinking about these words with a bit of like 4 years from now. But what terrifies me is that the next time there is a Republican president with even slight authoritarian leanings, this is going to be far messier, because they know how scared people are with with even like it took a very dumb president who could fuck up anything he touched. Very little effort with the dumbest people to foment armed insurrection. What happens when we get a slightly competent guy with like 10% of this much evil? What happens when I keep saying it? I'm terrified if Dan Crenshaw or Tom Cotton run. I think neither of them lack the same kind of buffoonish charisma that befalls Trump, that works for that kind of populism. But hey, they could learn it in the next few years, and a few more years of the brain damage that people get from working in Congress. It could happen. It could happen. So, anyways, let's see. Melissa Knock asked, thoughts on now a third different COVID vaccination for the UK? Was it is it AstraZeneca that was approved? I'm not keeping track of anything, unfortunately. I believe AZ was approved, and the thing works. So if you can, whichever vaccine you can get your hands on, get it. Just get it ASAP. They all work, both in terms of reducing incidence of severe disease and reducing incidence of any disease. People are it's. I will get if I wake up tomorrow and find out and I'm told, hey, by the way, you actually got the vaccine in your trial. It's quote only 80% effective. I'll be like, good enough for me. I'm done. But yeah, like get whatever vaccine you're offered. Moderna, you guys were just approved for. Yeah, Moderna is just as is I believe equally effective to Pfizer. So it's but now the AstraZeneca / Oxford, Moderna, and Pfizer have all been approved, and I think Johnson and Johnson is next, so that's exciting. So fingers crossed. But 4 vaccines are going to be out. Things are going to be cranking along soon. Scrolling up, I see a few people saying the coup isn't over yet, and let's try to wrap up the coup talk here, just because where else can we go with this? No, of course it's not over yet. The next 2 weeks are going to be terrifying, and I know that they're talking about how they're going to do Joe Biden's inauguration. You know how they should do Joe Biden's inauguration? They should do it in a fucking bunker. I don't need to see him do the walk down the no, do it in a bunker. We don't look, Joe, you've been to a couple of these already when you were veeping. It's okay. Just go become president quietly underground. We will watch it as we have long done for the last year. We'll watch it on Zoom. We can do it from home. It'll be fine. So that is the next few weeks though. If here's the thing, it's going to be bad if Trump is not removed from office, and it's going to be bad if he is removed from office. And I believe, and this is why I think part of the reason why people have been leaving his cabinet. I think if they know that if they are part of the team that votes to remove him, there are people that are going to there are people that are going to follow and harass them for the rest of their lives, because people are already following Lindsey Graham at airports. To be fair, it's Lindsey Graham. I mean, but no, it's there are people that are going to harass everybody, every single Republican who turned on Donald Trump, who accepted, every Republican who accepted math for the rest of their lives in this. So I almost understand why these fucking cowards are leaving now. It's just self-preservation, because it's not just rats off a sinking ship, because they're not going to get the stink off. It's that the mob will come for them if they do the right thing, which is to take Trump out of power. So that's all terrifying. But no, there's no quick end to this. This is all very This is all like we've seen this happen when countries go down before, when dictators go down before. They don't leave peacefully. Oh yeah, and people thought I was being a little like, it's your Archie being a catastrophist, when I was like, hey, I don't think Trump's going to leave peacefully. Why would you say that? I don't know everything he's ever said or done. It's just a guess. But yeah, so the next few weeks are going to be terrifying. Like I don't know about you guys. Here's the one thing other than the fact that COVID's been nuts, the last few months have been nice because I have not been like waking up at 3 a.m. and checking my phone for like what's Trump said or done or tweeted today. Like I know he's just like, when he says a dumb thing about the election, it's almost funny now because it's been like, oh, you lost. You're out on January 20th. And it's like, I've been able to sleep kind of normally. And like, I don't know if you like, I feel like I look tired right now. And it's like, I waking up again and going, damage report. It's just, oh God, like I said, had that big 2020 energy back again. But no, a lot can happen in the next 2 weeks. Who knows? Well, like I'm not checking on Parler, but actually no, I am checking on Parler. I'm over on Reddit checking on r/Parler Watch. That's my source of info on there, and my God, it is terrifying. Like I have yet to see anything from Parler that makes me go, oh man, I gotta get on that platform and get that direct from the source. So I'll stick to just getting the highlights, the highlight reel of Parler over on Reddit. It does not seem all that delightful at all. So, whew, my God, yeah, Parler is having I'm enjoying their identity crisis though. This was all Antifa. Have a look at my video of me storming the Capitol. You fucking Muppets, all cabbages, all of you. My God. Anyways, somebody, Melissa, thank you for asking. Is Simon safe and well? Simon is safe in New England, where there doesn't see it's, and she's not near a capital, so I don't think there will be armed insurrection in my mother's relatively sleepy town. And probably not in her neighborhood of her relatively sleepy town. So we're good. My family is all in sleepy enough. Like, look, there was rioting starting in downtown LA a couple days ago. And like it's worrisome because my husband works in downtown. But like also, he's able to avoid the areas where they are. So it's worrisome because like, are they all gonna be like, hey, we should go out and do the insurrecting again and just, plan this on Parler again one night? Is this a thing that's happening again? Who knows? And who knows if the FBI / local police / National Guard are planning on standing out again. And I'm sure somebody on the right is sitting there going, are you saying defund the police now? No, I'm saying that armed insurrection is probably the reason why we have police, not shooting people for a traffic light that's out. But that's just an observation. Anyway, so that's whew. So I think that's covered a lot of the news things of the day. So quick update. So here's the thing. I try to be critical or skeptical of myself even. I've said previously that I'm skeptical of the I'm trying to pull us away from ranting about armed insurrection now, because look, I'm going to keep on saying the same thing over and over again now. Armed insurrection bad. Fuck Trump. Media is partially responsible. So are his enablers. Meh, that's it. Anyways, I'd say how is this America? But like, this is perfectly America. Is anyone else starting to suspect that perhaps the British were being perfectly reasonable with tea? Like I keep looking at this going, maybe we would have been fine. Like maybe we would have been fine staying a colony. I don't know. I'm starting to look at the American Revolution in very different light now. just questioning a few things I read in my history books. Anyway, so let's see. Someone Akiko just said Trump is tweeting via his POTUS account. Oh God. Get him off of there. Jack. I love how they have, I'm entertained by the fact that we have official government Twitter accounts as though this is a thing that's in the Constitution. Like, and yes, in 1776, George Washington had it stated that in their official Twitter account, it would not be controlled by Jack. They would not be told they could not tweet to their constituents as defined in Article 3, Section, my fucking God. So, yeah, that's delightful. Just 2 more weeks, man. 2 more weeks. Let's just crawl our way there. We're gonna make it. Oh, a completely side note. I was really happy about this, and I forgot to do laundry after I wore it for the first time. On my Amazon wish list, I had a hoodie sweatshirt crop top thing that had kitty ears on it, and somebody, like, I didn't even know someone had gotten it for. So it arrived this week from one of my patrons named Reinhardt. So if you're watching right now, thank you, Reinhardt. I'm probably gonna wear it for the stream on Sunday because it's adorable and look. The more things with kitty ears in my life, the better. In this world of sadness, doom, and armed insurrections, kitty ears bring me joy. That, and obviously being in a snow globe. I'm staying in this snow globe as long as it's an option on Restream, and as long as, armed insurrection is happening. Anyways, I'm trying to hop off of armed insurrection before we call this a day, because it's been one. I think I'm just saying. Look, before we started this, I had lit. Oh my God, that's unbecoming a lady. I had lit myself a joint, and I'm like, I feel it might be unbecoming to light it on camera. That, and like, it does make me cough quite a bit, which, again, not a fun thing while you're trying to stream and communicate and all this good stuff. So I figured I will wait to start that until after the stream is over. But just, it's been a week. It's been a hard one. And I mean, I'm getting used to writing a thing every day. It's been nice to feel like my brain is up and roaring all the time. Anyways, I'm going to draw this to a close. I want to see if I can grab one last question, comment, thing to chit chat about the COVIDs, anything before I want to put a button on this that's not all terrible and negative, because it's been rough. Russell, Russell, you are very funny. Like, if you guys don't know, so this is not the last thing of the thing, but if you guys want to help support the dog and pony show, that is me, and quite literally the dog of the dog and pony, and just look, get yourself a science dog. They fit so nicely in your lap, right? Anyways, but if you want to help support the Dog and Pony Show, links are all down below to Patreon, PayPal, and my Amazon wishlist. Look, just who doesn't want to buy me candy? Anyways, but if you are on my Patreon now, I haven't established all of the various things I'm going to be doing with this, but I'm probably going to be I will be doing extra things with the column for my patrons. I'm going to be figuring this out over the course of this month and establishing that probably Feb 1. So at the end of the year, I'm likely going to be taking all of these columns and self-publishing them into a book. And like I said, have not figured out which level of patron that's going to, but it's probably going to be on some tier of Patreon. You automatically get the book. So that's going to be a fun thing. But like, I'll be throwing that at you and trying to lure you in a little bit more after you guys have gotten a month of these. So hey, you get a month for free. Come, please support. Anyways, but yeah, if you want to sign up for Patreon, link is below. There's also a once a month patron only live stream where we might prank call some senators together. I maybe perhaps prank called Mark Rubio and Lindsey Graham and Joni, and a few others last month that happened. It was a good time. But if you would like to make a one-time donation, PayPal, all those things are options. And of course, like I said, Amazon wishlist, kitty-eared things show up for me occasionally. But thank you guys so much for helping me get through this last year. I switched over from being a person who people paid to write highly edited things that took forever to write. And now I'm kind of having fun throwing some content straight out here for you. So I'm having fun having you guys for my boss. I like that a lot better. So oh, and yes, the other thing is you guys only get my cheesecake recipe if you sign up for my Patreon. So and the cheesecake recipe might be worth signing up for it for like just a month. So just sign up just to get the cheesecake recipe. Like just trust me on that. Anyways, scrolling through trying to get a quick comment, question, or otherwise thing in here. Here's a really good one. So there have been a lot of questions about ivermectin because, and this is one of those like zombie COVID myths that keeps coming up. And here's the thing. I keep seeing like this one feels a lot like hydrochloroquine to me because all the research I see from it is from the beginning of the pandemic. I haven't seen anything recent. Like I keep looking for preprints or peer-reviewed stuff that's new. And like maybe I'm just not finding them, which seems unlikely. But it seems like the language that's used in it, and a lot of deciphering this is really about looking at the language that's used and how people write about it, because there are certain terms that people avoid. I don't know. It just seems very the way that people are writing about it is very, yeah, it feels like another bullshit thing. Like they're saying, oh yeah, 100% of people who took it never got sick. It's like, really there's something askew here, because 100% of people, like somebody in there would have had a reaction to it, or so, like, or wouldn't have been, I don't know. I'm not buying it. So the fact that it has not become wider spread, I don't buy it. Like as usual, I want more studies, and it seems like the only things I'm seeing are prospective studies or retrospective studies or preprints or things from April. It's oh, thank you for this. Nicole SCH said, great pulmonologist I know says it's crap. Yeah, like I have yet to hear from a single reputable source or anybody who I trust in the SciComm universe or any of my doctor friends that ivermectin is the wonder drug that I've seen it made out to be in small blogs that are saying you should also take it with zinc and HCQ. I think it's unfortunately another HCQ. And I think that if they'd managed to get like a marketing campaign for ivermectin off like a month earlier than the vaccines, like there would have been a whole bunch of people saying they're trying to get you to take these toxic vaccines, but we have this great thing that we've had. Like I think that would have been like their next disinformation tactic from a bunch of people who don't know fucking shit about medicine. So that is my series of thoughts on ivermectin. It's don't don't trust it. Try to, if you see someone trying to promote it, I would recommend telling people, hey, look at how long ago these are from. Notice that there aren't many actual mainstream studies on it, and that there are a lot newer treatments that have been proven to work, and that it's weird that mainstream doctors aren't talking about this. They would probably have, this is what I tell people. These doctors have access to more information than us. They would be using this if it works. It's not like they're, it's there. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why these things are not being used by doctors, but mainly that it doesn't fucking work. But yeah, there's no reason to think ivermectin is a treatment. It's from Lena. Just stay away from HCQ, Darda. I need that shit. It's not for COVID. Yeah, my brother's on it for lupus. So when the whole HCQ thing happened, I was panicking because I knew that people were going to be suffering because of that. So it's been an interesting process of seeing how people have reacted to this on 15 different fronts. Like the biggest, I would say the biggest shock of the entire pandemic has been that they downplayed the Jude Law character in Contagion. I did not expect the conspiracy theorists to have that big of a role in all of this. So that's I'm going to put a button on it right there. Anyways, it has been delightful. That's been a rough headache. I'm going to go take some. But look, I'm just saying, fire needs to be applied to this, and I need to inhale a lot of it. It's been lovely. I will see you guys on Sunday. Maybe, who knows what insanity will have befallen us by Sunday. There could be more armed insurrection. Maybe maybe the guillotine will be back. I hope not. That's I used to. Oh, somebody, thank you. Thank you for reminding me, Mento Darmento. I could not do this would have all been for naught if you hadn't reminded me. How could I have done this to you people? This is what armed insurrection does to me. I forget the vitals in my life. Anyways, so I love you guys. Stay safe. Stay the fuck home. There's nothing to do outside anyway that's worth it right now. Stay home. Stay safe. There's no room for you in the hospital right now. So I want you guys to stay alive until we're on the other side of this and then we're all vaccinated. So I love you.